Hi class, my name is Ralph Canada and I just returned from El Salvador from preaching a missions conference there, and in 2 days I leave for Mexico City taking a team from Nepal and India. But I wanted to do this video very quickly and let you guys know about what I have learned about Hudson Taylor. Hudson Taylor was one of the most influential missionaries to ever come on the scene. God used him in great ways to impact China with the gospel, but all of that really began in his early life when he viewed and valued the power of prayer. It was actually because of prayer that he came to faith in Christ. His mother and his sister prayed earnestly for him to come to faith. And when he did, he immediately sought out active service for Christ. He began working within his own community, leading people to faith in Christ. He began teaching Sunday school, visiting the poor, and immediately began a spiritual and physical preparation for the missionary work that God had called him to do in China. In China, he arrived and immediately saw the value of enculturalization, contextualization of the gospel. And even though this was not the custom of the time, Hudson Taylor began to dress in native clothing or Chinese clothing, and then also grew a long ponytail, which was highly criticized by the other missionaries. But nonetheless, because he had adopted a Chinese culture, he was allowed to, and then also spoke very well, not just only several of the dialects, but he was even able to translate the New Testament into Mandarin. So Hudson Taylor enculturated himself, began preaching, many difficulties, but the main spiritual motivations that I saw in his life was, number one, the power of prayer. He was a man of deep conviction of prayer, and at many of the most opportune times, God would bring to his remembrance Bible verses, Bible principles, and some of the deepest, darkest trials that he was going through, and that would be what would sustain him. Also, what he learned while he was in medical college of self-sacrificing, doing without, living way below your means of income in order to free up more of the income for the missional cause, gave him the preparation that he needed. Because during that time in China, there were very dark and difficult times and times of great need, that if he had not grown accustomed to self-sacrificing and giving up, those times would have been insurmountable for him. So he was married. Then he went back to England. He was able to recruit 21 missionaries. They were able to arrive in England, and they were able to arrive in China. And the China Inland Mission, which became one of the world's largest missions agencies, was an interdenominational missions agency. It was based on the principle of faith missions, where each missionary had to live literally by faith. They were not paid a salary, and they could not solicit funds. They had to go wholly trusting in the Lord. But these missionaries literally started hundreds of churches in 10 of the 11 provinces of China at a time when no Protestant missionaries were going inwards towards China. They basically all stayed upon the coast, and they baptized thousands of converts. His life was a difficult life. It was a life of self-sacrificing, but it is an exemplary life that we can glean a lot from today. And he was a man that greatly and deeply influenced many modern day missionaries that have given their lives to the cause of Christ, and even missions agencies. And Hudson Taylor will go down as one of the greatest missionaries this side of the Apostle Paul. God bless you guys.